Hello everyone and welcome to this time trial tip video. So this is a little tip video before GT Academy starts, just to get your eye in, and this is how I approach a time trial or a combo, just so I get a good idea of what I need to do. So I'm going to start off with the big one, and this is a big one. It might not be for some people, but in my opinion it is, and that's to just jump straight in there in the combo. Don't load a replay, don't load the ghost, don't try and follow a ghost, just go in and get an understanding. Because cars handle differently, you need to make sure you know the gears, sort of get an idea of the gears. It doesn't matter if you gear off, gear down compared to the top replays when you have a look at them. It's to give you an idea of what you need to do, and also an idea of apex speeds. If you can get sort of the initial idea of the lap and what you need to do, then you've got a good idea of how you could probably improve, and maybe where there are problems in your lap when you start racing the ghost. Now I did record a bit of that footage, but it failed weirdly. So I've only got footage of the next bit where I've loaded a ghost, and here it is. So you can see I've done a bit of testing. I've got 96 miles or kilometers on the clock, and I'm about to show you 3 laps of this sort of like test. I only did 3 laps after loading the ghost, and it's just to give you a good idea of now what you've learned and how you can approach it versus the ghost. So this is rank 1 on the leaderboards ghost. It's a guy called Dub, I think. And he's got a 140.0. My best at the moment was a 142 something from practice session. So obviously I need to improve. I should have identified that brake marker straight away really, because that's a really important one. Always is on the first corner. And as you can see, I'm in second gear, accelerated out. I'm not too far behind. He's obviously got a better exit. He's obviously been at this a bit more than me. He's got more understanding of the car's exit. And I'm 2 tenths down. That's not too bad. I've missed the apex there. Instantly lose another tenth or 2. I'm now, what, 4 tenths behind? So at this point, don't start racing the ghost. Still just do your own thing. You try and understand where you're losing a lot of time. So as I approach this, I broke a bit too late, and I realised that he's got a bit more rotation in the car. I've accelerated out. He's accelerated out. He's gained another 3 or 4 tenths there. So we're gonna have this long straight now, and the fact that the exit is so important there because of this long straight, it's gonna keep going away from me. So at this point, 8 tenths down. So now I've got an understanding of the first part of this lap. Is a bit too far away for me to get a real good understanding. I've missed the apex completely here, and unfortunately this invalidates my lap there. So you get an idea of track limits from that, but still complete the lap. You've got a really good idea of what you need to do. So we noticed on the first lap, first corner, his exit was better, and that sharp left before that long straight is a very crucial corner because he gained an absolute ton of time there. So they're the 2 things I need to focus on as I cross the line and start the next lap. I also need to focus on apexes because I missed a lot of apexes there. So we're going to focus on those 3 things for lap 2. And as you can see there, it's a 42.6. Now I started out wide on that last corner to get a good lap. So obviously I'm crossing the line at the right speed. Do the same brake marker. It's all going very well there, and we turn in. That ghost coming on there, you'll notice he's got more rotation. So instantly I've gone, right, okay. He's got better exit this time than me. I've sort of done the same sort of thing, but he's got a better exit. But I noticed he had far more rotation in the car. So now, rotation is something I need to start focusing on the 3rd lap. Once again, I'm just trying to follow the ghost here, get a good bit of oversteer there. That's sort of what I wanted. As I approach here, I need to make sure I hit the apex this time. As I do hit the apex, but once again, it's rotation. He's got more rotation, he exits so much more quickly than me, and he just piles on the speed, and look at that, he's got a massive gap once again. So as we approach the set to 2 time, it was 8 tenths before, we're now 9 tenths. So we may be down, but we've understood a little bit more. We hit apexes this time, but rotation was the problem. Now obviously when you get to sector 3, you might be a bit too far behind the ghost to really get any understanding. Don't worry, just work on your sector 1, sector 2, you'll eventually be close enough to the ghost to understand sector 3. So at this point it's just a steady lap. Just do what you normally do on this part of the lap. You can see his line generally into the last corner, so you could get a good idea of that. And we're going to start the last lap, sorry, lap 3. Now we noticed on the sort of first corner he had more rotation, but my exit was compromised as well. So I'm going to try a different gear. So this time I'm trying a different gear change just to see if I can get more grip and more acceleration out, but I'm also going to try and get that rotation in as well. So you can see I'm matching his speed. It's all really good. So as I approach the braking zone, same brake marker again, quite easy. So I was in second a lot longer here. I switched to third early. Let's put the power down. I don't put it down because I don't get enough rotation. Once again, he's ahead. So I need to get the rotation right on that first corner, and I believe it's second gear as well. Just from my understanding of it, second gear will give me a bit more rotation. I can accelerate out quicker. I've just got to manage the oversteer, which this car has a lot of, as we'll soon see as we approach the left-hander. So as you see, I've run a bit wide there, but I've got quite a good bit of oversteer there. Didn't want that last bit though. That forced me to correct. So as I come in here, I really nail the apex. But that oversteer there, that's huge oversteer there. Look at the speed he's gained just from that oversteer. Something I need to manage. So I have to judge the throttle a lot more with this car. It's very slidey, very quickly. And the time, 8 tenths down. But we were a lot closer going into that left-hander, so we know that the exit was a big compromise and we can get 2 or 3 tenths there straight away. At this point again, we're a little too far behind. We can see little bits of the Ghost, but you can't see fully exactly what he's doing. And it's at this point now, I do the same again, I try and finish the lap. So, from those 3 laps, and sorry if I've talked really quickly, I've understood that it's car rotation. The exit, I really need to nail exits, especially on the important corners. Remember, I've talked about prioritising corners in the past. Here's another example. As I cross the line now, you'll see that it's still an improvement on the time. I think it's a 41.6, I believe. I want to say a 41.6. Let's see what it is when we cross the line. Yeah, 41.6. So we're 1.5 seconds behind. So with loads of times there, it's still there. So as I was saying, I need to make sure I hit apex speeds. The apexes, sorry. I need to rotate the car more. The exit on the really big priority corners, I need to make sure I get right. Now the car's oversteery, so it's going to be about playing with gears. Second, third, second. At this point, perhaps you might want to load the actual replay, look what gear he's in, see if you can ID anything that you perhaps are doing wrong or things like that. But to me, I would do another 5-10 laps, really get your eye in, see exactly where you're losing time. We also need to make sure that we are nailing the sort of last sector. So if we gained 2 or 3 tenths, those 2 or 3 tenths we lost on that left-hander before that long straight, if we can make sure we get to the last sector with 5 tenths behind him, we'll be able to see a lot more what we're doing wrong in sector 3 perhaps, and then be able to identify where we need to improve on that lap as well. So that is basically the little tips or idea of what I do as I approach a time trial, the initial time trial, just to get an idea. And that's how I would approach GT Academy as well this year. I'll do sort of a session, get an understanding, load a Ghost. See, generally the top guys, they can load a Ghost and see where they're losing time. They don't have to load a Ghost and they'll still do the same lap times, you know, because they understand the lap, they understand what they need to do. A Ghost can be handy as a reference point. It was handy in GT Academy for me at Brooklands, second part of Brooklands. When I was behind the Ghost, I could use it as an extra reference point. That's why you could always gain more time, or why I could always gain more time at Brooklands when I was behind the Ghost. But generally, I still could get fast times without it. It was no big deal, because I was ahead of the Ghost sometimes as well. But that's the little tips video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, fire away. And good luck for GT Academy when it starts on Monday.